Okay, so now that I have finally figured out what's in the vaccines, they are nothing more than just agonist and antagonist antibodies that will program your body to do some autoimmune types of mechanisms that, yes, if you have an imbalanced body, you'll have autoimmune disorders, which means that somewhere along the line, you're going to have to correct your own biochemistry to be able to handle the programming of autoimmunity, which is a natural occurrence because that's how your body is able to keep with the program of moving, thinking, feeling, reacting, whatever. So the whole reason why there's two sides of the movement, of the vaccine movement, is because people who have issues have a problem with feeling evolution. Sometimes evolution can cause someone to usurp more resources than they're able to contribute, and it causes very accelerated de-evolution. Okay, so that's the hue and cry of the anti-vaxxers, because yes, it's a very legitimate argument that I don't blame them. Those that are pro-vax, they have no problem feeling and taking the evolution, and it's only when they've had really adverse reactions. But where do these adverse reactions come from? The lack of initial evolution prior to the vaccines. Okay? So, if you're not afraid of feeling the effects of the vaccines, then you might as well do Jilly Juice, because it's the same thing. Only Jilly Juice is going to back up the action potential with actual substantial chemistry that will support your biochemistry so you don't die from the action potential either now or in the future. And you can still take to the evolution. What happens is when somebody takes a vaccine now or in the future, they don't know if they can afford that action potential. And sometimes they may have very aggressive adverse reactions right off the bat. And sometimes they might not feel those adverse reactions till way later on, when the body finally uses up most of the resources and then finally goes after vital organs, of which then people start getting scared because they feel their evolution and they don't know how to respond to except to go to the doctor. So you might as well, if you're going to get a vaccine, you might as well do J-Juice, because you have no fear. You have no fear of evolution. Because remember, again, the vaccines hold both the growth potential and they hold the atrophic potential. Atrophic or atrophy is when the body's been programmed like a 3D printer based upon the algorithms that determine length times width times height and the volume, but on a very microcosmic scale. So you think of a 3D printer that has been programmed to make like a ball. Then it will determine the volume, the circumference, all the things that would make up a ball. Okay? And so, yes, there's specific algorithms that will atrophize as well as give it some kind of substance growth. And that's the same thing with what's in these vaccines. It's a programming that, again, will determine length times width times height and the volume, like a 3D printer. So essentially, your immune system is like a 3D printer. Essentially, the vaccines do the same thing. The issue is most bodies out there do not have what it takes to handle that type of 3D printer action potential. And so it's one of those that, well, if you want to evolve and you want to stay alive, you better support your evolution properly. If you believe people should die, then you'll find every way possible to fulfill that self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you think your life is that precious, which it is, and if you do honor your place on earth as well as people around you, you'd find a way to face your evolution. And that means facing your pain. It means understanding what it means to what pain means in the bigger scheme of things. All right. So that's all I got to say, but I wanted to put it out there as far as those that are not afraid of vaccines should not be afraid of the Jilly Juice, because it does the same thing. It evolves you. But now you have a chance with Jilly Juice protocol to back up that potential and face your pain, not try to suppress it with Advil, ibuprofen, alterations from the holistic allopathic world, because that takes away your life force. All right, bye.